Okay guys, time for a new review today. Stay tuned for the fast unboxing. Okay, so it's out of the box, or out of the bubble wrap I should say, because it's pretty much all that it's wrapped with. The mic just flew off. There we go. Okay, so it's got some nice weight to it. It's not bad, as you can see. I'll turn this way, because I'm left-handed. Okay, so it's definitely got some like rattle to it compared to like the nowadays pro stuff. It definitely needs oil. It's definitely very dry, you can tell by the way it's priming. But yeah, this is the Ceda S, guys. There's the stock. And I do have other stocks as well I can try it out with, but it's not actually that bad. It's quite a nice stock. Doesn't really wobble that much when it's in a certain extent. It obviously gets more loose the more further out it is. Even then, it's not actually that bad. So yeah, I might just like keep that the way it is, but I won't be modding this. This is, as you guys know, the grandfather of all pro airsoft. The internals of this is actually a retaliator. So the all the pro line kind of started that way and progressed onwards. Some of you may not know this, but the Game Face Prime is actually the same face as the Ceda. It's just one made for the American market, from what I've read. But this one's actually sold by Evike usually, and they don't sell these in England. A lot of you that speak to me, you'll know about the issues that it is to get blasters like this in England. To get this imported, it would be another $100. So $80 plus $100, $180. That's, you know, most people wouldn't even have paid that for this back in the day. So, but it comes with its zero barrel, as you can see. So I only paid £40 for this and £10 postage. So obviously it didn't come with all the box or anything, but that is a really good price for this. Even if it was like brand new back in the day, it would have been a good price. And the cool thing as well is it comes with its katana. It comes with its everything, basically. It comes with its katana adapter and its katana magazine. They nearly didn't include this with it. Wasn't in the picture. But the crazy way I found this, a lot of you guys will be quite shocked, is I found this on Facebook. I think this can load either way as well, from what I read, yeah. It doesn't want to sit in there for some reason. I think that's because this is not a skinny pusher. So I have to prime it first, put it in. There we go. But yeah, I found this on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace. And the craziest thing was, this was sat amongst a load of Hasbro stuff, like the old school stuff, some of the Elite stuff, and then some of the older N-Strike Elite stuff. No, not N-Strike Elite, just N-Strike stuff. And yeah, I was just shocked. Like, this was just sat there amongst all of that stuff. You never usually see this on Facebook in England, because like someone would have had to import this, but especially for, you know, to have it. And it would have just been a hassle to get this, you know, in your hands in England. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. It's in really good condition. There's no scratches on this whatsoever. I'm thoroughly impressed with that. There's not a ding on this thing whatsoever. I honestly think it just needs some lube on it. Might wipe it down with a cloth just to give it more of a shine and clean it up a little bit, just because that's what I do with everything. My cloth actually has some silicone oil in it, so it will like rejuvenate the plastic. But as you guys know, this was like one of the first Pro Blasters, and it allowed you to just disassemble it. You take these pins out, unscrew these 2 screws, and this whole front end comes off. It takes retaliator springs, and it's quite easy to just disassemble and do on the field. I did a lot of research into it, and it's actually quite interesting. You know, this was like Singapore's way of getting the Pro Nerf sort of on the scene. And it sort of progressed through to England and US. Jetface actually have a video of a British guy that, from UK, I think it was Brit Nerf, actually, not UK Nerf War. And he was shooting one of the long shot reskins that they made. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head at this moment in time, but it's like a kit blaster. You can sort of build it to how you want. And he was like a big proponent of Jetface, and yeah, I think it's quite sad. If you look now for Jetface on Google, their website is completely defunct. It is now sells mobile games, from what I saw. E-Bike still sell these. There are websites that still sell these, but they are expensive, and they don't sell them in England. When I say they sell them on websites, I mean they sell them on the US website. Which, you know, if you're Australian, European in general, then that's going to be like a big sigh of disappointment to you if you want one of these. I actually skipped this back in the day because of the price and because of what people thought about it. You know, everyone was saying it was all like loose, you know, compared to like the Nexus and stuff. But it's nice to go back and actually see it and experience it and actually be able to see it as well. I feel like this is like a sign, you know, to be able to find this. But yeah, this shoots at like 140 out of the box from what I've read. Stay tuned for that. I won't be shooting it in this section of the video. It's more of just to show it. I want to re-lube it and check all the internals out before I, you know, fully just put a dart through this. I never usually just put a dart through most of my stuff. I always clean it, lube it, make sure the plunger tube, make sure everything is working good. Because yeah, you don't want to break anything on the first shot. So it will be edited in. This will be one long video though, so you won't really notice. I've heard that you can change these grips out as well with AR grips. It's honestly really comfortable. The front grip is actually really nice to me. I've got quite a big hand, and the serrations are aggressive enough for me. I think if your hands are covered in oil or they get quite sweaty, you'll probably slip off it. Maybe if you just rely on that bottom piece. But if you pinch the sides, these 2 serrated parts, you get a nice grip on there. It's quite chunky though. It's definitely a chunky blaster from the front end. Doesn't come with its optic, but T-Pain is hooking me up with that. I didn't actually ask him, but I told him about getting this blaster. I showed him the pictures, and he was like, "Hey, I got an optic for you. I've got so many optics. You can just have this because, you know, I don't need it." So I was like, you know, I appreciate that, bro, because I've only really got one optic that I use the most, and that's that EOTech. And I've got some cheap stuff that came with my blasters, but they're not very good. Oh yeah, it's because the slides forward. Yeah, so you can't take it out either without that. I keep forgetting that because you've got to kind of imagine this is kind of like a Pro Hasbro. I don't even think skinny pushers were even a thing yet at that point. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they were. But yeah, what I would say is the height to bore is very high. When you actually put your eye down, it like goes right across this sight with this rail. And I know a lot of people don't like to use optics in the hobby. This would actually be a perfect blaster to not use an optic for. You can kind of just use this as a reference point. But it's got a good height for optics. If you do tune this up high, you'll be able to get a nice optic for it. But I've spoke to a lot of guys that had these back in the day, and There's one story that I heard that they didn't even fully max out the spring. It was like a slightly weaker Retaliator spring, and the actual back end here snapped. It snapped off. Wasn't the bolt, which I've never heard of that before. So obviously it's not an actual buffer tube that can be unscrewed, because on an actual AR-15, if you actually know anything about firearms, then how do you take this off fully? So I don't even think this stock's been taken off before, because I can't do it. But we'll leave that on there for now. I'll figure that out later. This part here usually has a castle nut on it, and it's screwed in, and you can usually remove the AR buffer tube. This is not removable whatsoever. So if you break that, you're going to have to like epoxy and do some crazy magic just to get that to work again. And that does house your spring. It very much is like an AR-15 mixed with something from Nerf. Yeah, I'm surprised I can't remove this stock. That's the one thing I'm puzzled about. It just doesn't clear the area. I've heard people pulling on it works, pulling on it hard works, but mine's not. Mine's not coming out, so I'll leave that. This is a collectible to me anyway. I'm not going to be modding it. I'm not going to be changing anything out. But it's just an interesting piece to see how far we've come with it. And the crazy thing is, this feels like something that's over 10 years old, but it isn't. This is only 6-7 years old, but it shows how fast that technology is moving nowadays. Back when I was a little kid, 10 years was like a good sort of time frame for things to upgrade technology-wise, advancements-wise. We look at 5 years like 10 years these days. So I mean, just look at vaping, look at computer technology, look at the things that sort of came around 10 years ago. Look at the past 5 years and look how advanced it's gotten. So yeah, I mean, we've come a long way. This feels like a much older blaster than it is. And it will only get more so that way. It will only feel more retro as time goes on. The thing we sort of have this in the hobby, but we've lost it to an extent. We've got the unicorn, which can be pulled apart that way. Doesn't hit the hardest. It's a pretty good blaster, but doesn't hit the hardest. And I think more blasters need to have pins. I think this is the way forward. I think if Saber had pins, if this was more of a way, it was like you got your pieces from them and they were built solid. There was no screwed things to put together, just solid metal pieces that you slid together, put the pins in. I would be more for it. I'm not into blasters that are like Meccano, sort of put together piece by piece. I like the fact that this is injection molded. I just like that. I like printed stuff as well. Stuff that prints as one piece just looks the best as well. Just kind of like how injection molded is. But yeah, you can really see that this has not been used very much at all. So that's probably why this stock isn't coming off, because every video I've watched, people have pulled theirs out very easily. So yeah, got some nice sling attachment point there as well, which is it seems quite sturdy, but I probably would not use it. But we've come a long way. If you get a blaster this size nowadays, you're going to be hitting 250 quite easily. This only hits like 140, 150 out of the box max. And then it's like 180 to 200 once it's upgraded. So you only just get that 200 mark, and you can go further than that. I've heard of some stories, but you're running the risk of destroying it. Maybe if you're American, it doesn't matter to you, because you can just send this back to Evic or Evic and get a replacement. Kitty says hello. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's looking over. But yeah, I really like the color scheme. It's definitely quite interesting. But yeah, so if you look at where Jetface came from, it comes from Airsoft meeting up with Nerf and kind of having a baby, and this was kind of the thing that came out of it. An Airsoft gun and a Retaliator having a baby, and this is what you get basically. Come here then. I think she's woke up now. She's telling everyone she's awake. So yeah, it's just an interesting place of beginnings, I would say, and I think it's a shame that they're not around anymore, personally. because they seemed like they genuinely cared about the hobby. Jetface have quite a big YouTube channel. Like they haven't uploaded in like 3 years, but there's loads of videos to watch, and I recommend watching them because that's where you'll get sort of the background on this, and it just becomes more and more interesting the more you look into it, to be honest. So if you're interested in, you know, the pro stuff and where it sort of came from, definitely look into it because yeah, it's really interesting. So stay tuned and we'll do a shooting test. I just thought I'd throw my red dot on there. I've also put my sling on here too, just to see how it sort of rests. It's not too bad. It's good for like just sort of like carrying the blaster mid games and stuff. I wouldn't really want to use it actually in a game. Maybe sort of, you might be able to draw your sidearm and use it, but I'd prefer like a 2-point sling over that. But I sort of just put that on there just to see for now. It's alright, but I'll take it off. Bumps the hand, bumps the back of your hand as well. So we've got the adapter that came with it, and I've also got the magazine as well, which is cool. Got a target set up about 20 feet, 25 feet away. Got a mixture of darts to try, all different ones, literally. So yeah. Let's try it. Put my dot on. Wow, that slapped my target and bounced back at me. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's try. This one is a Cheeto. I like that you can see in the window here as well. It's more of an inspection window in my opinion. Wow. I don't know if you can hear that. That slaps. Did I damage the target? I don't think I have, but I'll just double check. No, we're good. That slaps. That's crazy. Yeah, all I've done is redo the seals and re-lubed it before filming the shooting portion of this video. And yeah, this thing is crazy. This is one of my homemade darts. Doesn't like to feed very well. Wow, this is crazy. Another one of my homemade darts, didn't like to feed, but you can push that in. I wonder if I can push the magazine down and drop this forward. Yep. I'm literally not even shooting through the optic. I'm just sort of aiming it from my the center shooting portion of it like that. And posture, I meant, not portion, but yeah. This is crazy. Let's try another homemade dart. That one fed. I'm hitting that target without even having to use sights. I mean, I'm just instinct shooting. Gonna leave that one because I don't want to use all my dragon tooths up. Got a this is an AF Pro. Wow, yeah, I'm impressed with that, guys. Let's test magazine compatibility. So we've got a worker Talon. So that one doesn't want to feed into this magazine adapter. However, I do have one for the X-Shot Pro. The X-Shot Pro one goes in. I don't know if it locks, we'll see. No, but what if I try and load off of it? That way it will lock. There we go. I'm sure if I pull it back... Oh, it didn't fall out. Okay. This is impressive, guys. I'm really impressed with this. Let's do a chronograph test, shall we? I'm just going to get my adapter from my X-Shot. This doesn't take very long to switch out, which is great. So it's cool this adapter works. Obviously I only have one katana mag, so we will have to use this for this portion of it. Let's see if the angled one goes into this one. No, see, this is the problem. Okay, so we've got some ammo just to shoot as well. That one didn't chamber. I can actually instinct shoot this. I'm quite impressed. Oh, that one didn't chamber. Yeah, this magazine isn't letting me, isn't loading properly. It's getting stuck. It could be the adapter, but it seems to work without that. So, for some reason this mag doesn't like this blaster. Let's do a chrono test anyway, guys. So, I'll pause the video and I'll load this mag up. Okay, so we've got my chronograph set up. Got one of the original darts as well. That only came with one, so we've got one for the chrono test. Got a target set up here just to capture the darts and make sure they don't get damaged. $120. That's quite respectable with that dart. $103. Let's try that. Let's try it again. $162. $157. That's very impressive. $162 again. Yep. I reckon that one that was 103 must have been an error. Don't know why it's having problems feeding sometimes. Oh, at least we know the mag comes out good. Let's try this again. There we go. 148. Now, I think this blaster hasn't been used very much. I think I'm literally wearing more, like, warming the blaster up the more I use it. Oh, there is more darts in here. Okay. For some reason the mag didn't work then. This mag seems quite new as well. 149. $155. And we're out of darts. Like the reference. Anyway, yeah, so just from me relubing, and also what I did was I redid the seals on the plunger tube. I couldn't think of the name then. But the great thing about this blaster is you can just quickly disassemble it. So I'll see how much grease is in here and I can show you as well. So unscrew these out a little bit of the way, pull your pins out. There we go. And you can make sure this, make sure these unscrew just enough, because you don't want your bolt attached like this. I know people do it in their videos, but it's not the best for your blaster. So make sure you unscrew that. I don't want to do it so much they fall out, but you can do it to where they just stay in there. There we go. So that way you keep all that together. And I've re-lubed and re-oiled the barrel. The great thing as well is it comes with its own scar, which is the 0 barrel. And you just have to push this pin, push your barrel, and you can actually pull your barrel out. The great thing with this blaster is it is just very easy to take your parts out like an AR-15. And there's your 0. It has it written on the side. I don't know if you can really pick it up on there. But yeah, it's very, very great. It's good. It's better than the X shot long shot one that comes with it. So that should give you sort of a reference of that. And then just push your barrel back in. Make sure it's seated the right way. And here we are. Here's the bolt sled as well. You see, this is all nice. This is all oiled, and then I just redid the seals on the actual plunger tube. And the great thing about this is literally you just pry the plastic apart a little bit, and the plunger tube comes out. And I can show you just how easy it is. And you can see how much tighter it is. It actually gets more of an air seal before it gets to the bottom now. See, it starts there and then compresses. Most people starts about here and then compresses. So we've got way more like contact with the inside. Not a huge crazy plunger tube either, so it's quite impressive. I'm getting 160 with the stock spring and just upgraded seals. I'm quite impressed with that, to be honest. It just pops back into place like that, and you've got your spring in there as well, which you can just replace if you want to, and you just put your blaster back together again. Slide these two pieces on. I found that this is so new that I'm actually finding it hard to line it up sometimes. There we go, we've got that lined up now. I've done this a few times now, so it's a bit more worn in, and just put your pin in just to keep that one in place. Oh, I also forgot my bolt sled. See, it's very easy to put that together again though. Like, if you mess something up, like, you can just open it up again. Like, it's really simple. It's not like well, any of the blasters we see today. Just make sure your sled is in its tracks. There we go. I don't want to misalign anything as well. You want to make sure of that, because this is a polycarbonate one. There we go. So once you've done that, you've just got to line up your bolts. This can be a bit fiddly. There we go. Okay, that bolt is now on there. Push the bolt down into there. There we go. And there we go. We've got that reattached again. And then the second pin, wherever I put that, down here. There we go. A little bit fiddly because I haven't obviously done this very much, but it's very simple. It's very simple to actually, re-oil and redo things if you need to. If you compare it to the X-Shot long shot, you've got to unscrew loads of screws and mess around with it. So yeah, this is amazing, guys. It really just packs a punch, to be honest. So yeah, I found that this doesn't really like to go in, and I think it might just be the shape of it. Yeah, I'm not really sure why, guys, but that's just how that is. This was working before at the beginning of the test, so I'll check this out and see what's up. So yeah, I figured it out. I literally just didn't have my bolts in properly. It's a bit finicky. Literally, I'm still getting used to this though. I'm not claiming to be an expert on the Ceda whatsoever. But yeah, it does work. Just trying some fast shots. Just shooting at my soft target. It's really accurate. Thoroughly impressed. Let's try this mag again because it was having problems before. Yeah, it doesn't. It's weird. It's like it changes how the bolt chambers. Drop that out. It's very strange. Not really sure why this mag doesn't like to work. There we go. So just got to be pushed forward more slightly. It seems to work now. I haven't even tried my optics because of my helmet, but I'll try without it now just to see. Literally, this is so accurate. I just had to slightly elevate my dot. Wow. So, yeah, this is amazing. So the closing thoughts on the Ceda S. This is incredible, this blaster. I like how easy it is to disassemble. I like the feel of it as well. I like the fact that even when I'm aiming, I can like look down and see my chamber and easily see if something's like working or not. Because like when you're testing out like the magazines, as you saw, not all of them work very well. So you don't want to just fire it and not know if you're completely chambered. So it's really good. The performance is on par with stuff today. I mean, just upgrading those seals and lubricating it, you saw I'm getting a little bit extra FPS than what people usually get out stock out of it. And I can promise you it's a stock spring, everything else is stock. The only thing I literally have changed is the seals, the O-rings, and just some more grease. The only O-ring I changed was on the plunger head too, so I didn't change any other O-ring or anything like that. I haven't even had to change my optic, like just the pitch of anything. It's all dead on. All I did was had to bring my reticle just up higher on the target because I was aiming center. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this. This is still usable today. Like if you like this aesthetics of this, and this, this will work for you. The only gripe with mine is the safety is a bit stiff. And obviously I'm not used to having to lock it back, take the mag out anymore. I used to do that with everything just because that was what you had to do. But these days I've kind of forgotten about it. Most blasters, you can take things out on the fly because of the skinny pusher. So other than that, other than not having a skinny pusher, this is still on par with things today. It's quite impressive. You can actually see the plunger tube through the back there. But yeah, I really like the aesthetics of it. I really like how it feels. I don't mind this pump grip whatsoever. When I was priming it, I can easily, still use it. So I don't mind this pump grip whatsoever. It's a bit noisier when you're priming it and stuff than the other blasters, but I really don't mind it. I thoroughly am impressed with this. Yeah, I'm glad to see like how the improvement we've got. The accuracy of this is amazing though, and I'm really impressed with this zero barrel. But I will be doing a video soon testing out the Scar barrel kit from Milo's Mods. I appreciate that, Milo. And a quick shout out as well to the T-Pain. He's really helped me out recently. He helps me with a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and he's just a great friend. Check him out on YouTube. He does videos as well. But yeah, I rate this a 5 out of 5. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I don't even rate the rattliness of this a problem. I mean, it's a humble beginnings. This is where this came from. It's a little bit finicky to take apart, like sliding the shell apart and stuff, but that's just me not getting used to it yet. I'm not used to taking blasters apart like this. It's been a while having to take apart something in this sort of fashion, if you guys know what I mean. So yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with this. I definitely recommend one of these if you don't own one already. Definitely get the Ceda S or the Game Face over the original Ceda, just because of the build quality and the performance you get out of it too. But yeah, I got this at an incredible deal. What I paid for this doesn't even, compare to what this is actually worth. So I'm very impressed. So yeah, if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. Comment down below. And if you have anything to send over to the channel, if you'd like me to cover it, such as this, then drop a comment down below as well, and we can discuss things further. Whether we can do it by email or by Facebook, we'll discuss things that way. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.